Hi, and welcome to the Markeisha Hall podcast. I'm your host, Markeisha Hall. I'm an IEP coach, parent empowerment partner, and certified autism travel professional. And today we're going to talk about something that all parents feel, I'm sure. So whether you're parenting a child with special needs or a neurotypical child, at some point, you're going to feel guilt. For parents of children with special needs, guilt is often way more intense. It's more intense because you're thrown into a world of therapies, special education, doctor's appointments, etc., that you just weren't prepared for. Why do we feel guilty as parents? Well, it's simple. Because we care. We want to do better, and we expect a lot of ourselves. Many of us have thought about being parents for a long time. It's me. I'm many of us. You feel guilty about about the things that you didn't do, right? Why didn't I pick this up sooner? Why did I wait so long? Why did I skip that therapy session? The list can go on and on. When a child has a disability and does not make gains over time, you feel like you failed as your job because you're not able to brag on the things that your kid is doing, like some of your peers. You need to remember that this does not mean you are not good, loving parents. You're doing the best that you can. But you cannot do this alone, and you need help, but often feel, you guessed it, guilty again for asking for the help that you need. You have to get out there and find others that get it. Other parents that do, and ones that do not have a child with disability. Having a child with special needs challenges us because we have to admit that we can't do it alone. Admitting that we need help feels like we are admitting defeat. The guilt, there it is again, of feeling inadequate can be quite intense. And some of us have more than one kiddo. You know, I have 4 kiddos and struggle with the thought of not giving the siblings the attention or equal attention, as much attention as they need, because often the attention centers around the child that has the disability. Not because we love them anymore, just because it takes more time to do the things that they need. And to be honest, you feel like you just want to get away from it sometimes. You know, you were like, these kids are driving me crazy. I just want to run away. But you also don't want to run away. You don't want to leave anybody with your kids. You miss them when you're gone, or you find yourself talking about when they're gone. Then you feel guilty about that. Oh my goodness. These are things that they just do not talk about in the books, especially navigating having multiple kiddos and a kid that has a disability. So we've set these high expectations for ourselves that we should be able to provide what our own child needs by ourselves. We talked about that before. We have to ask for help, no matter how uncomfortable it is. And if we are asking people for help and they're not giving the help, then we need to go find someone else that's going to be on our team, right? We talked a lot about guilt. There's more things that we feel guilty about, I'm sure, throughout the day that you guys are probably listing in your head right now. However, at some point, we need to believe that our love and fierce advocacy for our child is enough. And an important part of the process of parenting a child with special needs is acceptance. If we reframe our mindset, the guilt that guilt can be turned into a drive to seek the best ways that fit with your family's way of living. Notice I said your family's way of living. There are so many therapies and opinions and stuff out there, right, guys? I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It's important that it works for your family. What works for your family works for your family. I don't know, whatever. That's the best way that I could say that. And you know what? no matter how much guilt you feel, no matter if you are doing everything the right way, I put that in quotations, we're going to make mistakes because we're raising little human beings that are turning into big human beings, as all three, well, not all, 3 of the 4 kids are taller than me, so they're not little anymore. The key to letting go of the guilt is to accept the reality of our circumstances. This is our life. This is your life. And you guys get to create, even though there's going to be ups and downs, it's not always rainbows and unicorns and bubbles, but that's okay because it's yours. And you guys get to opportunity to create that every day. So here are a few things to get moving past the guilt and get to the good. 1, know that you are not the cause. You're not the cause of this. You have your child. That's who they are. It had nothing to do with you. 2, find some people that get it, that you can just say it all to. You don't have to be PC. You don't have to stay poised. They're just going to let you say what you need to say. Just got to get it out. You got to find that person. 3, acknowledge your feelings, right? We don't want to stuff them in because we don't want to blow up a couple of years down the line, but you just don't stay there. It's just not a good place to be. And 4, find a community that will help you learn about your child's disability, your rights, the supports that are available to you, etc., so that you can move from awareness to action. Because it's not just enough to know. You want to be around someone that's going to push you and see you guys as a whole family, right? Because you're important too. You have to know these things so you can best advocate for your child. And I hope that you find that community here with me. And if not, I hope that you find it elsewhere because it's super, super important to have that type of support. You guys, this was just a quick chat because we all have 400 kids, right? If you are listening and you don't have a child with disability, I appreciate that too, because we need more parents that have neurotypical kids to join us. Because as I said before, neurotypical parents and parents raising children with disabilities have things in common, which are the kids. We need each other to build more inclusion and more compassion and empathy towards each other. On that note, I'm going to say goodbye, and I hope that you guys tune in next week. Talk to you soon.